Hello everyone, I am Tacit, and today we are going to be doing a 15-minute long Gnome-a-Palooza for the first time ever. I actually haven't cracked open any of these yet, so this video will be our very first time. So of course, Gnome-a-Palooza is a new mechanic that was added in version 5.6. It requires the 4 verses. You can actually get these 100% for free as well, just for logging in today and the next 3 days if you're watching this right now. So definitely make sure to be doing that, and you'll have a free one you can do on Sunday. However, it is also a vault event right now, so the rate of being able to find these gnomes is substantially increased compared to normal. It's a 4-day vault event weekend instead of a standard 3-day, which we're doing special because of the new patch, of course. So today is also a vault event, as well as the standard 3 days for the weekends. So pretty nice there. But basically, you just do a bunch of battles, ideally quick kill explore, in order to go get a bunch of gnomes. The 4 new gnomes have a lower chance of appearing than standard gnomes, but they will drop a scroll whenever they do appear. And if you go all the way over to other, you'll be able to craft a Gnome-a-Palooza, which is right over here. Requires 1 of each of them. Keep in mind, even if you just started off in the game, it actually does not require Soulforge to be leveled at all. So even if you just unlock Soulforge, you would already be able to go and craft a Gnome-a-Palooza. Before you do end up doing so, you do want to double check a couple things just to make sure nothing really gets in the way of your grinding. Because obviously, when you activate one of these, every single second of those 15 minutes, you pretty much want to be using as efficiently as you possibly can. You can use multiple at once, so you're generally going to be using them one at a time, just because you do want to be 100% focused when you do end up activating them. Though one benefit to opening multiple at a time would be you wouldn't have to go into the Soulforge menu. You'd already be in the Explore menu for when the next one starts taking effect, because you just can do consecutive like 30 minutes or 45, so on and so forth. However, for this video, we will be doing just the one. But a couple things you do want to check. You want to make sure you leveled recently or nowhere near close to getting a level, because if you get a level, that will basically waste about a battle or 2 worth of time, so you ideally don't want that happening. The other thing you want to double check is double check how many shards you have currently for Explore. You ideally want this number to be as low as possible, ideally 0, though anything that's single digit is also pretty nice. You can end up doing this just by getting some shards in a specific location to make it pretty much go exactly the amount. Like, for example, if you needed like 30 more shards or so, you could just quickly do an Explore like around difficulty 7 or 8 or so, and that would hopefully give you enough shards so you're pretty much at 0, and then you can start doing this, because you want to be as low as possible so you don't hit the mythic battle as much, because we're going to be using the Dust Devil team. If you're using Rowain, that doesn't matter as much, but if you're using the Dust Devil variant, which is much quicker, I always covered a video going over the teams that you can be using for it, but you definitely want to be using the Dust Devil variants if you can, because these end up winning very, very quickly. But if you do have Rowain, it is cheaper, does not require the Mythic Iron Hawk, so also worth considering as far as team. As far as what we'll be using, we will be using a Gree, Dust Devil, Double Iron Hawk. I will also be using a combination of mouse and controller. I'm specifically using a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, oddly enough, mostly because it's a one-handed controller. Any controller that Steam supports that is has an A button will end up working, so pretty much any controller. I just happen to use the Switch Joy-Con because it's a one-handed controller, so you can have one on the mouse and one on the controller, so it ends up working out pretty well. The main reason for this is it ends up menuing a bit quicker than it would otherwise. Also, I do normally have music on, though I do want to make it a little bit higher. Hopefully it's not too loud, shouldn't be. But make it a little bit higher so we can actually hear the music. It does have some special music that ends up playing when we end up doing the event, so hopefully that'll be slightly hearable but not too loud. We'll find out. Should still be able to hear me. But anyways, let's go activate this thing and go do 15 minutes straight of this. If you have any other questions, definitely feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Let's see, let's go activate it and see what's up with this. So also, a few other things to mention actually before I start it. This does count towards pity, so we're going to get an absurdly high amount of pity. We are currently at 3 pity, I believe. Yes, 3 pity. We will probably be at like 11 by the time this video ends. You basically can get an entire like 10 to 20 hour vault weekend in within 15 minutes. It is pretty insane. And it also still has vault key increased chance during a vault event, and it also has still the chance to find those gnomes. So basically every single factor that's amazing, it does. So it's an absolute high amount of loot. You generally want to save all your Gnome-a-Paloozas for vault events, which are right now, of course, mostly because of the increased value that you do end up getting from using it during the vault event due to the higher vault key chance and everything else. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's go do our very first Gnome-a-Palooza and see what's up with it. Should be a lot of fun. So, let's see what we get. Craft. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, let's get ready to go. The second we go. Okay, it's activated. Oh, we got the achievement for it. Okay, it already used up 3 seconds. Go, go, go. Okay. looks like we're going to waste 10 seconds just to get into the menu, which I guess gives some benefit to using multiple at once. And as you can see, look at all those gnomes. And, oh yeah, I forgot. We actually don't want to use the controller input for the very first one. We want to do it manually. It looks like we already got a vault key. We already got the vault key. Oh, yeah, I think clicking that would actually be slightly quicker then. We'll click for the first one and then we'll do the other thing. Main reason for that is whenever you ace spam with the controller, it actually moves your cursor all the way to the middle, which can be a little bit inconvenient because obviously it's moving it to a location that you don't necessarily want. But it menus through the menus way quicker than what you would be able to do with mouse, as well as just touchscreen, which is pretty nice. Of course, console players automatically have this, so not really too big a deal on console players. But if you are playing on PC, I think you could technically do it on mobile too, and kind of just do it through Bluetooth. Not 100% sure on that, but you could definitely do it on the Steam version of the game for the slightly extra speed. Which, oddly enough, consoles would basically be the quickest way of doing this, because one thing that you can't do on PC for whatever reason is that menu you just saw right there. You actually have to manually click. It does not let you ace spam through it, which is a little bit unfortunate. So at least a little bit of time, but not really that big a deal. Also, you can hear the music in the background. Not sure if you can hear the guitar, but they added a completely brand new music track to go with this. Pretty cool. Oh no, I accidentally clicked on the thing so we didn't get the A press. I haven't used a controller for this in such a while, but it's definitely slightly quicker, so for something like this, it would definitely matter. Normally, I don't really care if I use a controller or not, because a little bit extra speed doesn't really matter as much. However, gosh, did I just see 2 vault keys? What is this loot? Also, I believe I started this with only needing... Oh, we got a verse too. Did I just see a verse? I'm pretty sure I just saw a verse. But I'm pretty sure I started this at 257. Yeah, there's another verse right there. Gosh, that's a lot of loot. But I'm pretty sure we started this at 257 vault keys. I probably should have showed that on screen before we did. But take my word for it. I'm pretty sure we started at 257. So whatever amount of vault keys we gotten since then, that's just from this event. And also, I did show the 3 pity, so you know for sure I had 3 pity before we started. We will likely have 10 or 11 by the time this ends, which is obviously insane. You just saw another vault key there. That is so much loot. Still can't get over it. I hope they don't nerf this. This needs to, like, not be nerfed ever and be left exactly as is forever. Though this is probably the only time we're getting a 4-day vault event weekend. It's not something that normally happens. I'm pretty sure this is the first one ever. Likely the only one to ever occur. I think it's a special for the patch. Though, of course, normally the standard 3 vault events, or, you know, 3-day vault events are still going to be a thing. Next one, I believe, is August 13th or so. Whatever that weekend is. It's the second weekend in August, whatever that is. I'm pretty sure. Whatever date that comes out to. But mark your calendar, because, gosh, are these events even more looty than normal. They were already insane, and now they are ultra insane. And you definitely want to save any Gnome-a-Palooza that you happen to get when it's not an event for the events, just because the extra vault key chances you can already see. I haven't been keeping track exactly because it goes so quick, but I'm pretty sure we're at like 5 or 6 vault keys found, not counting pity, which is obviously a very solid number. Kind of hard to even see what the loot is since we're kind of going through the menu so quick. I could technically look after the video and just add it all up, but it's probably a very big number, and that's all we need to know. Very, very big number. Could you even imagine the gem value that we actually get for doing this just for 15 minutes? I wouldn't even be surprised if it hits over 1,000 value. I'm pretty sure just the vault keys alone have it over 1,000 by the time we're done with a single hour. Especially the first hour we ever do. Like, you can basically do an entire vault weekend now within 15 minutes, which is pretty cool. So if you don't have, like, any time on a given weekend now, you just use one Gnome-a-Palooza. And you're pretty much good to go. It's pretty insane. As you can see, we've already found like 3 or 4 of the gnomes. Obviously, they appear quite a bit lower than... And when I say 3 or 4 of the gnomes, I have another vault key there. I'm referring to, of course, the ballad gnomes, the ones that give the verse. But I'm pretty sure we already found like 4 or so of them, which is pretty solid. And of course, those allow you to do more Gnome-a-Paloozas, which basically allow you to chain a Gnome-a-Palooza into another Gnome-a-Palooza, into another Gnome-a-Palooza, into another Gnome-a-Palooza. Which means it might actually be possible to perpetually Gnome-a-Palooza. This is the first one I'm doing, so I'm not sure if that's actually possible. Of course, RNG could make it so you might be slightly off of perpetually being able to do it, which would be rather unfortunate. But with this quick of a win, it might actually be possible to infinite a Gnome-a-Palooza, which is pretty insane. Hopefully they will not nerf it. I have a feeling they might nerf the loot just a little bit, but hopefully they will not. If nothing else, this weekend's probably not going to get nerfed in time, so definitely make sure to farm this one if nothing else, Because even if they nerf it by the time the next Vault event comes around, they likely will not nerf it in time to nerf this weekend. So definitely make sure to get the grind in while you can, that is for sure. But hopefully they won't nerf it at all. They added it for a reason, so... If nothing else, all we need now is a Deed Gnome. Also, that was the verse 4 I needed. I'm very low on verse 4s. I showed it in the other video, but for whatever reason, I have like 2 times less of verse 4 for whatever reason. And we just got another verse 4, so I'm pretty sure during just this Gnome-a-Palooza, I have no clue how much time we have left. We'll find out when we stop getting them. But just this Gnome-a-Palooza alone, I'm pretty sure we've gotten one of each of the Gnome-a-Palooza scrolls within like 5, 6, 7 minutes or so. Not sure exactly how long we've been going, but it'll be very obvious when we have stopped, because we will stop getting 4 in a single battle. Oh! An epic Valky! Ooh, nice. That's pretty insane. I started with 10 epic Valkys. I'm pretty sure that's the only one I found so far this weekend. I started at 255 Valkys as well this weekend. I believe 257 since we started this Gnome-a-Palooza. It still feels so weird seeing 4 gnomes. Unfortunately, one bad thing about that, we're actually winning possibly slightly slower than 6 per minute. But I could check the video after to know for sure. But normally this team can do 6 per minute, push ever so... Oh, wow, 3 in the same battle. Wow. It is possible to get 4 in the same battle, which is something I forgot to mention. It's possible to get 2, 3, and even 4 in the same battle. That is a thing. So I have yet to see 4, but 3 is pretty nice. I completely forget what I was about to say, though. I was too distracted by a triple. But, yes, loot. Lots of loot. Train of thought kind of got just heard by a triple gnome. Whatever it was, I'm pretty sure was loot related. I still can't get over this. This is a lot of resources. Oh, was I mentioning, I don't know, maybe I was mentioning Deed Gnome. But we definitely need a Deed Gnome now. This will fix like every Deed issue in the game now. If they just added a gnome that has writs and a small chance for deeds and Imperials. That would definitely fix the deed economy, that is for sure. As well as the economy for anything. Literally just make a gnome for everything now. And it will fix every resource issue that is currently within this game. Fortunately, none really the good gnomes there. Oh, well, Valky, I guess so. Never mind. Also, Valky chance still has that increased rate, which is like 1 in... I forget what it is. Isn't it like 1 in 10 normally for a gnome? If I'm not mistaken. 1 in 15, somewhere around there. So that means every 4th battle we would theoretically get a Valky. However, I do not believe the verse gnomes have any chance of giving a Valky. I have not seen it happen yet. So if any of you guys have, definitely comment below. And if it does, I'm pretty sure it acts like a pet gnome, where it would give both the Valky and the verse. However, I have not seen it happen yet, so I'm not sure if it overwrites the verse or what exactly happens. From what I've seen, they can't drop Valky, so they might be able to. And kind of act like a pet gnome in a sense, where you get both the pet activated, the white pet food, and the key. Though I would not really advise doing PvP or Arena. Well, Arena for the very obvious reason, but PvP for the fact that even if you want to activate a pet gnome, if you're doing this, you generally want to be using these during a Vault event anyways, and enough people in your guild would probably have touched PvP that you don't really want to use a Gnome-a-Palooza specifically to end up triggering a pet activation. You would normally want to do that manually and then save your actual Gnome-a-Paloozas for when you're power grinding like this. Still can't believe this is still going. I'm almost scared to look at how many resources we have after this. Almost feels like we're hacking resources, it's so quick compared to normal. It is pretty absurd. Oh, I thought that was a mythic key for a second. That was just before mythic ingots. Disappointment. I totally thought that was a second epic vault key for a second there. Fortunately, was not. Oh, also, the epic vault key economy has been fixed now. If you haven't gotten an epic vault key yet, you will very soon this weekend. We're currently still at 0 epic vault keys. We got one within like 5 minutes. But realistically, you're probably going to get one every other Gnome-a-Palooza. But how many drops you're going to be getting. So we got lucky and got it within the first 5 minutes of our first Gnome-a-Palooza. Another Valky. It's hard to even keep track. I'm pretty sure we're at like almost a dozen Valkys with an epic Valky. Plus enough to do like 1.5 more Gnome-a-Paloozas just from the gnomes we've gotten. From the Gnome-a-Palooza itself. Which means I'm pretty sure Gnome-a-Palooza can just infinite into itself, which is even more insane. To be able to perpetually run this for 4 days straight. Still can't get over this. But yeah, I'll be streaming this every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Might be streaming even a little bit more. I might do some midday streams and such. But yeah, we're definitely power grinding this. Especially since they might slightly nerf this next Vault events. Just ever so slightly. But hopefully they don't. Also, this would indirectly give quite a few orbs as well. Of course, we won't be seeing that. I do advise saving Vault keys till Monday. I don't think I mentioned during this video, but I mentioned it in the other one. But the 4 new gnomes aren't in the Vault key drop table yet. So you probably want to wait till Monday. Also, if you're free to play, you might want to wait until like 7 or 8 months from now. I mean, 7 to 8 weeks from now, I mean. Because the moon is currently not in the drop table. That's a new trip that actually came out this week if you bought the bigger pass, or next week otherwise, or about 7 or 8 weeks from now if you're playing free to play. And the main reason for that is the moon from this season isn't in the Vault key drop table yet. However, it will be in 7 to 8 weeks or so from now. So if you're playing free to play, you might want to wait till the moon's in drop table as well. And then you can get the 4 new gnomes and hopefully get the moon and whatever other event stuff you might be missing. Oh good, the one I had the least of. That's definitely the one we really want to see, the drummer. I have the absolute least of verse 4. So seeing verse 4 is very beneficial right now. Since every single verse 4 we get is basically a new Gnome-a-Palooza. Since it's my lowest amount of any of them. Let's go double check those numbers too. Actually, I know from the other video exactly what we had too. Prior to this we had 8. Although we did use 1 of each. So it would be 7, 9, 7, 2. Is how many we started with. Since, of course, we consumed 1 of each in order to actually activate the Gnome-a-Palooza. Since we're at 8, 10, 8, 3 prior. Okay, it feels like the Gnome-a-Palooza should end soon. It's pretty insane that 15 minutes is lasting this long. It's definitely a lot of fun. They've nailed the fun factor, that is for sure. Oh no, it's starting to lag. That's one slight issue with using controller. Which I'm not even sure if overall using controller would even be quicker because of that. But, controller does have a weird issue on the PC version where you're actually doing stuff so quickly that it kind of lags the game a little bit when you go to that menu. Oh, another drummer, nice. However, as far as actually menuing and everything, it's a lot quicker. Though the more you play, the more it deteriorates the game and the slower you'll go. But for a 15-minute burst, I don't think that would be as big of a deal. But if you were doing it for longer than 15 minutes, yeah, that could be more of a factor where it would actually be slower to use controller than quicker. But if you're doing them 15 minutes... Another epic Vault key! Wow. But if you're doing 15 minutes at a time, I'm pretty sure it's quicker with controller. Just ever so slightly. That's not too big a deal if you're not. And if you're on console, you're kind of doing that automatically anyways. If you're on any console version of the game. Another drummer! Wow. Well, we fixed our missing scroll 4 issue, or verse 4. Any verse 4 issue we had, I'm pretty sure it's almost caught up by now. I think it's still our lowest, but definitely not by as much of a margin as it was before, that's for sure. It seems like we were getting the most of him, even though previously he was the one we were getting the least. Which is pretty convenient. I have another one. I'm pretty sure we've gotten like 2 or 3 Gnome-a-Paloozas during this Gnome-a-Palooza. We've gotten more Gnome-a-Paloozas than the cost of a Gnome-a-Palooza. By a margin of like 2 or 3. Which, yes, it is definitely possible to infinite Gnome-a-Paloozas. That's pretty insane. You could just Gnome-a-Palooza straight into another Gnome-a-Palooza forever. At least in the current balance. I have a feeling that might get tweaked very soon. So grind while you can. But hopefully it doesn't get nerfed before the end of this weekend. Or even nerfed at all. That'd be insane if they just keep it like that. The new economy of the game. Just Gnome-a-Paloozas. Though do keep in mind, Gnome-a-Paloozas when it's not a Vault event would not infinite. It's just because the Vault event that is making it a little bit more infiniteable. But then again, I don't know, maybe that's not the case. Because it's really only helping our Vault key rate. I'm not sure if it's actually helping our rate of finding the new gnomes. Though it might, because I feel like I was finding quite a few earlier. I'm actually not sure on that. Okay, this Gnome-a-Palooza should almost be over. We can also tell when the music stops too if it's ended. That would also be very obvious because we won't see 4 gnomes anymore. So it'll be very, very obvious when it stops. Oh, I think it stopped. Isn't that normal music? Oh no! Did it stop finally? No! Okay, yeah, it was very obvious. You could tell the music shift. Aw, sadness. Okay, let's go look at some of our loot piles. So, the very first thing I want to see, what on earth does our pity look like? We started at 3 pity. We are now at 10. Well, an entire weekend of pity in one day. And I'm pretty sure we're pretty close to 11. But, well, there we go. That's pretty nice. Okay, we started at 257 vault keys. We are now... We got 18 vault keys. And 2 epic vault keys. I started at 10 epic vault keys. And we are now at 12, so yes, we did get 2. So that one was a mythic one, unfortunately, the mythic ingots. And now the other thing, how many Gnome-a-Paloozas did we get? We started at 7972. So we got, wow. We got 8 verse 1s, 4 versus 2s. Oddly enough, only 1 verse 3, and 5 verse 4. Which is a total of, I have no clue what that is. Big number, almost a dozen. Wow. But yeah, that's Gnome-a-Palooza. Grind it while you can. And hopefully before it gets nerfed. And hopefully it doesn't get nerfed. Because that is a lot of loot. Like, that's a whole vault weekend in 15 minutes amount of loot. Plus you get another Gnome-a-Palooza out of your Gnome-a-Palooza. Which infinites into more Gnome-a-Paloozas. Into as many Gnome-a-Paloozas as you have time for. So, yeah, I'll be doing that right now. And we'll be streaming it tonight, and yeah, doing it like every possible second we have free this weekend. That is the game plan. But anyways, guys, if you have any other questions, anything else you want me to go over, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll make sure to do so. I will be grinding Gnome-a-Palooza. Best of luck with your grinding. Catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.